The Game Time Podcast is sponsored by Matt Gaddis at State Farm. Whether it's your car, home, or renter's insurance, Mac's got you covered with fast, reliable service and a personal touch that you can trust. His info is on screen right now, so reach out today and see why so many people rely on Matt Gaddis. Big thanks to Mac for supporting the Game Time Podcast. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Game Time Podcast. I am Isaiah Hoffman, along with my co-host Darrell. We are previewing Week 3 of the NFL season. Darrell, how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great, Isaiah. It's Thursday night football, the day before the weekend begins. I'm all juiced up and ready to roll and talk about, the week that's coming up for our NFL lore, and a lot of good topics to hit. So I'm really,
We are recording this on the day of Thursday Night Football, so we probably won't talk about Thursday Night Football a whole bunch. We talked about it a little bit in the recap. The Bills are playing the Dolphins. We kind of know how that result's probably going to go tonight. We're going to really focus on the Sunday slate and the Monday slate as well, because this won't go out today. We want to give that recap a little time to breathe. This will probably come out most likely on Friday the 19th. Or the college football preview that we've got as well that'll come out. So, Darrell, I'll give you the floor. When you look at the Sunday and Monday football games, where do you want to start? What has your interest?
I like a lot of games. I like the Colts and the Titans. The reason why I like the Colts and the Titans, because in our prediction, we said, and I know I said, if Daniel Jones is the quarterback, the Colts will lose in Week 3 to the Titans. Can I change that? The Colts look really good the first two games, and I'm starting to become a believer in Danny Dimes and the Colts lore, right? So yeah. I believe in the young quarterback, from Tennessee is going to be a good player. I don't think the team is ready right now. I think the Colts go into Nashville and leave out there with a W just because the balance that they've shown. I definitely didn't think the defense would play as well as they played. That shocked me. So what I would say is this. I'm taking the Colts to rock on with a 3-0 record and come on back to Indy with a lot of people being happy.
Okay. Bengals and Vikings is a game I'm very interested in. I'm trying to find
I wonder why you're interested in that. Joe Burrow's not playing. What's your big interest?
I saw somebody say, right? You look at it, Carson Wentz is playing for the Vikings, Taylor Browning's playing for the Bengals. This is going to decide right here who's the better receiver, Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase, who can make their backup quarterback look the best. So
I don't know about that. You're talking about that. That's a hot take. Because I'm going to tell you, I think the better quarterback right now is Browning, right?
Okay. I would agree.
Both are I think are solid players, right? You got Wentz was here, right, and had a decent year here in Indianapolis. But I'll just say this: I think the Cincinnati Bengals have an overall more balanced offense than Minnesota does. As what I would say. I would say that because remember Minnesota's running back I think just went on IR.
Yes.
So yes. that takes a hit there. Brown has been slow to start for Cincinnati, but he picked up a little bit in the second half of the game last week, and I think Brown may have a good game this week as well. For running back of Brown.
Yeah, I would agree. The other game I'm interested in as well is Rams and Eagles. Both teams are 2-0. This was one of the best games in the playoffs last year. It was also snowing, I believe, in Philadelphia too in that game. Saquon had that big run. I am excited for this game. I don't know how the Rams will look against the Eagles. They played them close in the playoffs. Matthew Stafford seems to be fine. So we're going to see what happens here. That game's at 1 o'clock. At least that's what it says for me. So we'll see how this game goes. Any thoughts on Rams and Eagles?
Fly, Eagles, fly. I'm tired of everybody talking about the tush-push being an issue. Everybody has the ability to do it. They just do it better than anybody else. So I expect the Eagles to win this game in a slugfest. I don't think it'll be a high-scoring game, but I think the Eagles win in a slugfest to go 3-0 and continue to fly like the Eagles are doing.
Okay. Another interesting matchup: Niners-Cardinals. Obviously, the NFC West, I think we agree is very wide open at this point. You've got Seattle, Arizona, San Francisco, and then you've obviously got the Rams. This is a big game for both of these teams so early in the year. It's in San Francisco. We talked about Mac Jones in the recap. You're not too high on what the Niners are doing with Mac Jones and everything else. You're interested to see how they get through these weeks without Purdy. Here's a big test right here.
Well, what I'm not high on is how they're using McCaffrey, right? You got a guy who's had a lot of injuries and has got a lot of miles on those legs, and they haven't been utilizing those receivers. And I understand the Kittle has been slowed. Obviously, you got Debo is in Washington, D.C. now. Doesn't matter. You still got good players on the outside, and you got to utilize them. I just think that if they utilize their outside players, that's going to complement McCaffrey, and that's going to, save some wear and tear on him towards the end of the season. Because you also got Brian Robinson Jr., who's a stud in the last year of his contract. You got to give him some run as well.
Yeah. No,
so that's my take on the 49ers. It is crazy because I think Kyle Shanahan is probably known as one of the best play callers in the league, but it just seems as though he's really forcing, McCaffrey. And where does that put McCaffrey at the end of the season?
Yeah, you don't want to overuse him. I get you don't got Kittle, and I get Debo's in Washington and Brock is out, but it's only week 3. You gotta be able to split the load here because Brian Robinson's a solid running back. I was a little confused when Washington moved him, especially now with Eckler gone. Like, man, it's really going to be rough sledding for Washington as we get down the stretch. The Commanders play the Raiders this week. It's in Washington. Could be a close game. You see they're renovating RFK Stadium, $3.3 billion to renovate that.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
That's the old school, right? They're trying to bring it back. They're trying to bring it back to what it was. I respect that. Because I think right now they play in Virginia or wherever the heck it is right now. So
that stadium is
I get that. It was a great stadium when it was built over 20 years ago. Well, time has passed, right? So yeah, I can understand that. New regime, new ownership group makes sense. It makes sense.
$3.3 billion. That should get the job done. Well, we will see. What other matchups you looking at? I see Steelers Patriots. I see some other matchups that could be an interesting one.
Well, I do want to talk about the Raiders, though, right? So I saw an interview with Ashton Genty, and someone, I don't know what the question was, but his response was, something along the lines, you wouldn't invest the type of pick I was to not have me be the workhorse. I'm okay for the load. Give me more of the load or something like that, right? So I'm guessing it's because he didn't get a lot of run last week with regarding that loss that they took against
the Chargers.
Or
the Patriots.
The Charger game.
Okay.
And for me, I mean, that's were you effective? If you weren't effective, I don't think it really matters much. But I think that if Ashton Genty is the player that they think he is, he should get the touches that he's asking for. And I'm pulling it up now to see how many touches he had. I'm really curious about that. And I'm showing here that he had a grand total of 11 rushes. Yeah. That's why. 11 rushes and 3 catches. That could be why. Maybe he wants, 15 to 20 to get himself an opportunity to get going. So he's a young guy. Yeah. He's full of energy. You put that much draft equity into him. Why not? Ride him until, you got Geno throwing interceptions. Maybe there's opportunity to run the ball. So
the game started off rough for him. So he had a negative 5-yard rush, incomplete, 8-yard pass, 0-yard rush, negative 5-yard catch, 4-yard rush, 5-yard rush, 4-yard rush, 0-yard rush, 3-yard rush, 4-yard rush, 6.
You got to give him an opportunity.
But then he ended it off with a 13-yard and then a 10-yard rush. So
you got to give him an opportunity. It's the flow, right? It's the flow.
Yeah, and that's what I said. It started off rough, but he seemed to figure it out there at the end. Yeah, Geno did not play well in this game, and we said the Raiders could be interesting at the start of the year. They could definitely upset some people. They'll have a chance to do that against the Commanders. The Commanders really need a good win after that loss to Green Bay.
Looks like your quarterback is out this week. Am I right? Looks like the quarterback for the Commanders is out.
Daniels?
I think he's out.
I can look.
I know McCarthy is out. I was thinking that Jaden Daniels was out as well. I could be wrong,
Questionable.
Okay.
Questionable.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
If I were a betting man, and I am, I'd bet that he sits.
Yeah, probably. I would say so. Justin Fields is out.
Yeah,
So
Justin Fields is out as well too. That's
and
who's
so
definitely out with a concussion.
and really, I would give the Jets a chance against the Buccaneers if they had them, but since they don't have them, Buccaneers are going to move to 3-0.
Yeah, I think the Buccaneers and that offense is clicking, and I think that defense is opportunistic. So whoever the Jets' backup is, may have a tough road to hoe come Sunday in Tampa Bay.
Texans Jaguars 1:00 slate in Jacksonville.
My Texans better win. I talked them up big time, and I went on my rant, the other day about how bad Henry Toll played, and also the quarterback. If those two guys come to play, there's no reason why the Texans won't go down to Jacksonville and win the game. Period.
I think Jacksonville's got a shot. I mean, they've looked pretty good.
They got a shot.
I'm very impressed with how they've been playing. I've not been impressed with Houston up to this point.
I'm with you, but Houston gave the game away last week. They gave it away.
Yeah, I agree.
So if they don't give it away and they tackle with their arms, not just with a shoulder, and the quarterback hits open guys that are 3 feet open between the numbers, they win the game. Because I still think they've got more talent and they've got a better defensive scheme and players than Jacksonville does. That's what I believe. Now, hell, come Sunday at 4:00, I could be proven exactly wrong. But I think the Texans have an opportunity to get off the snide this week. They need
But Travis Hunter, Darrell.
He's a great player. He's going to be a great player. I'll give you that.
Yeah. He's not done too bad.
He's not going to be the needle mover for this game.
No, not at all. No, not yet. Not yet. I mean, I'd say for the most part, when I look at this Sunday slate, you could say on paper, it's like, yeah, this team will win this team will win that. You really never know, right? Which is fair. We're 3 weeks in, stuff like that. But I feel like for the most part, a lot of these games, they're a bit easy to call, I would say. But now so I present you with the Sunday
we say
night.
they're easy. Then we say they're easy. Then our record is 4-5 on the games we pick. It looks easy.
Yeah. I'd present you with this, though. Sunday night, Chiefs-Giants in New York. Both teams are 0-2. Now, a lot of people would probably say, including myself, that the Chiefs should win this one. But, I mean, New York just put up 37 points, and the Chiefs' defense is probably worse than the Cowboys' defense, I would say. So we're going to see what happens on Sunday Night Football in New York.
Look, man, I want Russell Wilson to have success. He's been called a lame. He's a nerd and all these things. And he's had a tough last couple years going to Denver. That 2-year stint was terrible. His first game in the Giants was terrible against the Washington Commanders. He had a great bounce back game last week. I hope he can parlay that into another good game this week, because I think he's one of the good guys in the NFL, and I root for the good guys no matter what team they're on. And Russell Wilson is one of the good guys. I hope he has some success in spite of Brian Dable. I think Brian Dable is probably one of the worst coaches in the NFL. And I'm not hoping that he gets let go, but I'm just saying I think he's one of the worst coaches in the NFL. But I got a feeling that the Giants are going to come to work on Sunday night. I think it'll be a close game. I definitely don't see it as a blowout, and it wouldn't surprise me if the Giants pull out a victory in the end.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. Speaking of one of the good guys, I got a trade proposal that the NFL should just force on us. I think Jameis Winston needs to be traded from New York, and they need to trade him to the Cincinnati Bengals for the next 3 months. I want famous Jameis in
what? I don't want him going to that horrific franchise, that cheap franchise. They let their franchise quarterback walk back to the locker room after being injured. No card ever came out for him. No card came out. The Cincinnati Bengals organization is a proverbial joke. You invest $200+ million in this quarterback. He's limping to the locker room. Yeah, okay. No, I don't want Jameis Winston going there. Stay with the Giants. He seems happy there. He has an opportunity to even learn a little bit from Russell Wilson and be a even a better guy. Stay in New York, man. I don't want him going to Cincinnati being ruined by that franchise.
I say this because the Bengals have a Monday night game, 2 Sunday night football games, and a Thursday night football game all in the next 2 months. Obviously, Burrow will not be playing in those. So I would like to see it because at least, they may not win, but at least it'll be entertaining to say the least. Now, Taylor Browning may just light up the scoreboard, and this statement is all for nothing. But I think, we'll see if the Bengals start shopping for a quarterback or if they're confident in Browning. You said they should be confident in Browning.
The talk is they're going to look for a quarterback, but there's not one on the market. Okay, put it this way. I don't believe Jameis Winston would be a better behind the center quarterback than Browning would be. Okay. Now, from an entertainment value, he'd add some entertainment value, but I just don't want him going to that horrible franchise. The way they've shown their hand over the summer, and then watching Joe Burrow, your money quarterback, walk back to the locker room after being injured, being on the ground for minutes. You saw that. You saw him walk back to the locker room the whole way. Sorry, man. They don't deserve good things like that. They deserve Brian Dable as their coach. Now that would be great. Brian Dable to Cincinnati. That would be great. Now you got a bad coach, you got a bad ownership group. There you go. Now you just deal with it.
I wouldn't mind Joe Burrow in Dallas. I would appreciate that.
Why? Dak is there. Burrow. There's no need for Joe Burrow. Dak is there. And I know you purposely didn't mention the Bears and the Cowboys, but I'm going to mention them. They're in Chicago. They're in Chicago this weekend. I'm going to tell you, Dak is going to light it up again. Dak will light it up again. He's going to show Caleb Williams what a real quarterback looks like, one that's going to carry his team and is going to make things happen. So give me Dak and the Fighting Cowboys against the Bears Sunday at 4:25 p.m. Yeah, I'll be watching. It's
definitely a win, but it's like bringing up Seahawks and Saints this week. Like, come on, we know who's going to win this.
Dak is a better quarterback than Seahawks and Saints quarterback combined.
I'm just saying, but that's what I'm saying. I feel like those two games are obvious. We know the winners.
Well, we thought last week with the Giants against Dallas was obvious. Remember? We said it wouldn't be close. I told you, it's the NFL.
Of course, this will be the week when Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams get it figured out. So
doesn't matter. Dak Prescott is on the other sideline, and Dak I trust. Don't worry about it. He's got this. If the Dallas Cowboys lose, it won't be because of Dak Prescott.
Same way you told me about Herbert. Let's see what happens.
That's what you told me about Herbert. How great he is, and what we've done. Like I said, his book of play is still not better than Dak's. You can say what you want. It's not.
But let's see come January, because I promise you,
we're in September right now.
One of them
Dak I trust.
One of them will win a playoff game. The other one will not. We will see what happens come then. Unless they're both in the wild card, then they'll both win. But it feels like in media, it feels like a wild card win. It's just really not counted. I don't know why.
Really?
With the way, like, for example, with Dak, right? I think a lot of those playoff wins are wild card wins, and a lot of people will say, and I don't agree with it. I'm actually defending Dak here, so just give me a second. But it feels like a lot of the media it feels like they don't look at wild card wins as real wins. Like, it feels that's the way it feels like for me when they talk about.
I've heard this before in my life. I've heard the opposite.
With the way the media talks about it, I'm like, man, you would think if these guys. Like, it feels like when they say, oh, this guy doesn't have any playoff wins about Dak, I'm like, well, he's won multiple wild card playoff games. But it feels like they want him to get to the divisional and win that, which is understandable. But I'm like,
they got a narrative to drive.
It's the media,
they got a narrative to drive, just like we got a narrative to drive, like you and your Dak hate. You drive that narrative, and I get that. We have narrative we want to drive, but really, they can drive all they want. Dak has multiple playoff wins, period.
He's got 4.
That's multiple, period. So give him his due, give him his flowers, and stop being, as the people say, stop being a hater. He's a hell of a player. He's earned his money up to this point, and this weekend he's going to show again why they paid him that type of money. He earned it.
See you in January. That's all that matters.
Well, we're in September. Then comes October. Then comes November. It was a long season ago.
Oh, when we looked at that Cowboys schedule, they got to play the Chiefs, they got to play the Lions, they got to play the Eagles.
I love it. Love it.
About that
Dak's going to light them up. Dak's going to light them up.
Win?
I said Dak is going to light them up. I didn't say when.
What? Can they beat Detroit?
I wouldn't be surprised if they beat Kansas City.
Can they beat Detroit?
Yes, they can beat Detroit. Listen, any team in the NFL can beat another team that they're playing against.
All right, that's a cop-out statement. I need a real and honest.
No, I'm just saying. I don't know. Listen, we thought that the Washington game against the Giants was a precursor for Giants going 1-16. Then they turn around and they gave Dallas everything they wanted and then some. So we can guess these as best we can based off of what we've seen. But absolutely, Dallas has no reason, I would think, that they couldn't beat Detroit. They got a hell of an offense, and Detroit's defense isn't as strong as some people want you to believe.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I'm not saying I'm gonna go to DraftKings and put $1,000 on Dallas to beat Detroit. But also, I wouldn't do it the other way either right now. We'll see what happens. But I know who's going to show up. I bet you Dak is going to show up, and Goff is going to show up. I think it's going to be fireworks. It's going to be a high-scoring game. I wouldn't be surprised if 31-38, 38-35, something like that. It wouldn't surprise me.
We're going to see. Speaking of Detroit, Monday Night Football, they take on Baltimore. In Baltimore.
Probably the game of the week, probably, for people, if you look at the whole schedule. Ravens coming off of a big win. Lions coming off of a big win. Who blinks first?
Yep.
I think it's going to be a great game. I hope it's a great game. I'm hoping it's not a blowout. But I'm hoping that the game goes into the fourth quarter and the best team wins.
Yeah, I would agree. Who you got winning, though?
Ravens are at home. I'll give them the edge.
Yeah.
I give the Ravens the edge.
Yeah, I would say Ravens. I'm pretty confident Ravens win. I think it'll be close. We will see. I don't know how to gauge Detroit quite yet. I was talking to my friend about this yesterday. I was just like, I don't know how to quite gauge Detroit, right? Really rough game in the first week against Green Bay. They come out and they beat the Bears handedly. So I'm curious how this week will go. Going to need a larger sample size. I'm probably going to need about 2-3 more weeks to really get a full gauge on Detroit at this point. Because in the NFC, for me, it's Packers, Eagles. I dropped the Commanders out of my contenders tier, put Tampa Bay in. Doesn't mean I don't think Washington is I don't think they're a bad team, but I
would keep Washington. I'm gonna keep them in. I'm gonna keep them in. They had a rough game last week. It happens. I'll keep them in. They still got talent. And they added to their talent pool. They didn't lose a lot. They added, other than trading Brian Robinson Jr. to San Francisco, which still makes me shake my head. But other than that, those young guys they got in the backfield, they've got to grow up. They got two talented youngsters in the backfield. They got to grow up a little bit faster than they anticipated.
I think this Raiders game, the game against the Raiders, I think it'll be a low-scoring game. I don't think we'll see much scoring here. I think both teams are going to struggle offensively. The Raiders have a pretty good defense. I think this will be a closer game than a lot of people thought. Like if you're a betting man,
at the beginning of the season,
I wouldn't bet on this game, especially if Jaden Daniels is out, then it really becomes a toss-up because I don't think Geno Smith is going to be that much better than Mariota in this game either. Like I think it'll be fairly close still. Like if I was a betting man, I'm not touching this game.
Well, I think Geno Smith will play better this week because that dude, he's seen it all, man. He's had a lot of bad things happening to him in his career, and all he's done is bounce back. So there's no reason to think Geno Smith won't bounce back this week. I think he has a good game. I think they run the ball more. I believe that. To your point about a low-scoring game, I think it's going to be a more ball control attempt at the game to kind of silence the crowd a little bit. And they're hoping probably that Jaden Daniels does play because he'll be a little gimpy, which means he won't be getting it out of the pocket. So if I'm a Raiders fan, I'm kind of hoping he does play because he won't be 100%.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't.
They're not going to have the quarterback runs, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm Raiders, hey, come on, please Daniels play.
Yeah,
because he's banged up a little bit.
We've already said we do not want Daniels to play. We don't want another RG3 situation. So I'm hoping he doesn't play if it's that bad. Darrell, anything you want to finish off with? This slate's a little less interesting than the first 2 weeks that we've had. Doesn't mean it's a bad slate because things could obviously happen. But do you got anything to finish this off before we get out of here?
What I like the thing with the game I like also is the Chargers and Broncos, right?
Okay.
Broncos came off of a tough defeat last week. There are some saying the bad call was all this. That's a call that they call, man.
Yeah.
By the letter of the law, the call was called correctly. We can split hairs all you want. Call was called correctly. Chargers coming off of a high, man. They played a hell of a game last week. The quarterback seems as though he hit his stride last week and throwing 2 touchdowns, I think 250 yards. Then the other thing with that is with him, he seems to have been given confidence by his coach. He seems like, hey, it's all on you. We're going to put players around you to ensure you're successful. We believe you're that guy. We believe you're the guy that fits the frame of 6'4", 230 pounds. Now you got everything you want. You got your old receiver back. You got a 2-headed monster in the backfield, and you got a coach that believes in you. You know, Chargers may be able to hit a stride here, and based off of the first 2 weeks, I wouldn't be surprised if they win the West. I mean, based off the first 2 weeks, a lot of time to go.
It's gonna be based off the third week too. Give me the Chargers, 27-17.
Yeah, I would take the Chargers over the. They're at home as well too. You know. So, but it could be the flip. It could be a flip. It could be 27-17 Broncos, and that wouldn't be very surprising to people either.
If you ask Ramon's thoughts right now on the Chargers, man, he's probably not. He's not too happy right now.
Listen, man, I'm not a Harbaugh fan either, but I'm telling you, he's a hell of a coach, man. You can sit there and say what you want. You can cheat, whatever. Man, he's a hell of a coach, man. He's a much better coach than his brother, who went to bed in week 1. I'm just telling you, he's a much better coach than his brother.
National championship. One has a national championship. One has a Super Bowl from a very long time ago, but it is still a Super Bowl nonetheless. They both got good. They both got good resumes for the most part.
Yeah. Well, I've never seen Jim Harbaugh wet to bed like his brother did in game 1. I've never.
Okay.
Never. Ever.
Fair enough. All right. I don't really got anything to end off on. I'm just excited to get back to the weekend, watch some football. I think college will be fun. We've got that preview coming out probably first, and then I'll have the NFL preview come out. Make sure to check out our other video where we recapped week 2. There will also be a segment about the Chargers that'll come out. Me and Darrell discussed the Chargers. I was very happy that how well they're playing. So you'll see that segment.
No, you weren't happy. You were ecstatic. You were doing flips and backflips at home, trying to walk in your hands and everything else.
Yeah.
If the Chargers win the Super Bowl, you're gonna be insufferable. We'll have to cancel the show for 2 weeks because no one will be able to take you. No one will be able to take you.
We talk about Mahomes, Allen, and Burrow and Jackson. Well, get ready to throw Herbert in there if he gets a Super Bowl and the other 3 don't have one. There's going to be some uncomfortable conversations regarding the top quarterbacks in the league. But he's comfortably top 10. I was thinking about this last night. One more thing. I was talking to this about someone. You want to hear the top 10 quarterbacks in the league, not in order?
No, I don't. But you're going to give them to me anyway.
Yeah. Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Jackson, Herbert, Jordan Love, Dak, Jaden Daniels. Who else am I missing? I'm missing 2.
How do you put Burrow ahead of Jackson?
No, I said not in order.
Oh,
I said not in order.
We can't do it unless it's in order. We can't do it because I want to know. That'll be the next episode.
Maybe we got to do one of those because, man, I need to figure this out, right? Because there's a lot of I think there's all the guys I just named are comfortably in the top 10, right? I would say so.
Yeah. I think we would have a big difference in our top 10 numbers if we're picking them by 1 through 10. Maybe we can do that and we can talk through some of those things. And
maybe we do that on the live show.
And attempt to put our biases aside, right? We all have biases. My bias is towards Jackson and Jalen Hurts. Your bias is towards Burrow and Herbert, right? And also I got a little bit of slight bias towards Dak, because of all the crap he's taken, right? So yeah, maybe we can do it on maybe that'd be a piece of the live show as well.
And remember, GameTime Live, September 28th, 11 to 12 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you guys do check that out. Once again, big
In
thank you
10 days. In 10 days, everybody. 10 days.
Big thank you to Matt Gaddis for sponsoring the pod. He likes what he's seeing so far. So we're going to have him on in a couple weeks as well. And I did have somebody ask me, where's all the guests? You guys had so many guests in the first couple episodes. Let's just say I am back to working on some guests. We've been upgrading equipment. I got some texts from people that said, man, I like the look. I like the new upgrade. So we're working on some guests. I may even have I'll tell you off screen, but I got some people lined up. I've got somebody confirmed for when we get into college basketball season as well. So it's gonna be a good couple weeks here for the Game Time Podcast. But folks, that is going to do it. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you next time right here on the Game Time Podcast.
All the viewers, subscribers, friends, family of the Game Time Podcast, do me a quick favor. All right, reach out and get your T-shirts. If you look to the right of me or the left of me, you'll see both of my colleagues have these beautiful Game Time T-shirts.
Yeah, man, check it out. You see it right here, the logo that you see on the pod.
What you don't see is me with one because they forgot to give me mine. So you go get yours before I get mine, all right? Because you're closer to the family than I am because they left me out. I love those two, like cooked food, but they left me out. But you know what? They won't leave you out. Contact Isaiah, contact God. You can even contact me, and maybe we'll get ours together at the same time. All right?
We might.
Get in touch with us for details. We'll take care of you.
Absolutely. Rock the Game Time.
Game Time Podcast. That is right, folks. We are officially selling shirts. If you have any interest in buying them, let us know. $20 is the price for that. We're a startup selling them, so maybe Darrell will be nice. And
maybe some flexibility. You never know. Just reach out and see. These aren't free, but hey, we have some opportunity to put our word out there. The Game Time Podcast as we continue to grow for sure.
It's all about support. So if you guys do want to support us, make sure you guys do let us know. Just something we're starting up. Just gonna see how it worked. We originally got them made for the pod, but then we had a couple people reach out to me and Darrell about maybe wanting to buy some. So we were like, you know what? Why not make an announcement video? So if you're interested, please let us know, and we will see you guys next time right here on the Game Time Podcast.